Iran, or once called Persia, was ruled by empires and dynasty since 2700 BC until its end in 1979 and became an Islamic republic. Heavily protected by a lavishly financed army and security services, the royal power was overly centralized, which affected their cultures and religion. Westerns became their backer as they became a puppet to them. The Shah, or the king's regime, became oppressive, corrupt, and extravagant that led to years of revolution. Ayatollah Khomeini, he is a post-revolutionary leader, a cleric, came to political prominence in 1963 when he led the White Revolution. He protested to break up the landholdings and allow religious minorities to hold government office. He also fought against the Shah, which is Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Now, Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi was the last Shah of Iran and the last of Pahlavi dynasty, who ruled from 1941 until his overthrow in 1979. He came to power during World War II after an Anglo-Soviet invasion that forced the abdication of his father, Reza Shah. Timeline. The demonstration against the Shah started in October of 1977. The economic austerity measures to fight inflation was seen as disproportionate, affecting thousands of poor and unskilled people of Iran. Culturally and religiously conservative, they went to form the core of revolutions and martyrs. That year also saw the death of the popular modernist Islamist leader who is Ali Shariati, that angered the followers of different factions, which the first militant anti-Shah demonstrators commenced after the death of Khomeini's son, who is Mustafa, which he blamed to the Savak, or the secret police. The first casualties suffered in major demonstrations against the Shah came in January of 1978, wherein, according to them, 70 students died during those demonstrations. In May of that year, government burst into the home of Ayatollah Kazem Shariat Madari, who is a leading cleric and political moderate, and shot one of his followers dead in front of him. He ended his silence and joined the opposition against Pahlavi. Then the Shah, facing a revolution, appealed to the United States of America for support. By summer of 1978, which is of the same year, the level of protests have been at the steady state for 4 months. Demonstrators were killed every 40 days after they mourned for the death of earlier demonstrations. So, in an attempt to appease the situation, the Shah made appeals to the moderate clergy, firing his head of Savak and promising free elections the next June. However, the protests leveled up in August of 1978. The number of demonstrators mushroomed to hundreds of thousands. The theater, which had been a common target for Islamic demonstrators, was burned and blamed to them. 400 people died. The public believed that the Savak had set fire to the cinema Rex in an attempt to frame the opposition. The next day, 10,000 relatives and sympathizers gathered from a mass funeral and marching, shouting, "Burn the Shah!" And the Shah is the guilty one.
Fundamentalism took hold with a fury and a force that helped ignite the still impoverished masses in Iran, who felt they had little reason to be grateful to the Shah. The fabulous profits from oil had not filtered down to them. Autumn 1978. Anti-Shah demonstrations had grown to such proportions that the Shah declared martial law in most of Iran's cities.
So, after Jafar Sharif Emami, which is a new prime minister, after he was installed, some of Shah's policies were reversed. The casinos were closed, the imperial calendar was abolished, and by September, the major protests were becoming regular occurrence. The Shah introduced the martial law to stop the demonstration, but martial law didn't frighten the demonstrators. They still continued their ideals and gathered in Tehran. Security forces shot and killed dozens every now and then, and this became known as the Black Friday. Thousands of people had been massacred by Zionist troops, as well as the clerical leadership declared. By the late summer of 1978, same year, that Iranian support for the opposition boosted up. As time went by, opposition grew larger and larger and became so powerful that those who still opposed it became reluctant to speak out. The Shah planned for Khomeini's exile to weaken his communication to his supporters. Khomeini left for Iraq and then Kuwait. On December 2, over 2 million people gathered in Tehran's Shad Square to demand Pahlavi's removal and return of Khomeini. A week later, a total of 6 to 9 million people marched through the street of Iran. By mid-December, Shah's power had already been deteriorating. And on January 16 of 1979, Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi left the country together with the Empress. And according to the opposition, the Pahlavi's dynasty was destroyed. On February 1, 1979, Khomeini returned to the country and became the supreme leader on April as they became an Islamic republic.